Let us move on the next video of a steady state heat transfer problem of unit 5 on the steady state heat transfer for conduction with a convection. So till now we have completed the task of heat transfer problems with a conduction only. Now here we are going for the conduction with convection. So generally the Fiene problems have been solved. By using this method. Now first of all we need to know that is the formulation of the element thermal stiffness matrix for 1D steady state heat transfer problem with conduction and convection. Till now we are thinking about only the conduction, but now here the conduction plus convection. So instead of going into the lot detailing of derivation of element thermal stiffness matrix for the 1D, I am directly writing the solution of this one, because till date no one is asking to the derivation of this one, but and we are also comfortable with the formulation of the element thermal stiffness matrix for the 1D problem with the conduction. So we understand now everything about the things, hence make I will directly I am directly writing a final formula of a element thermal stiffness matrix for 1D steady state heat transfer problem with conduction plus convection. So we knows very well in the first of all, that is the element thermal matrix, element thermal stiffness matrix, that is K upon L, 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1. So there is no issue about this one. There is another term, that is the H. So here there is a change. Here in our formula there is a value of Q, that is the heat generated or the heat reducted. Now here there is a conduction, so H. So this convection is added here. So when we are added the convection here, then that convection formula H is equal to PHL divided by 6 AC. That AC is cross sectional area. This AC is a cross sectional area, P is the perimeter, H thermal conductivity, heat convective coefficient, L is the length, 2 1 1 2 multiplied by my temperature matrix is equal to, now see, this one is the heat flux or the Q matrix. So in a Q matrix we initially we have the two terms only, this Q1 plus QL by 2 and minus Q2 upon QL plus 2, but this third term is added again here. So this third term is for the convection. So PHL T infinity divided by twice AC. So again this AC is the cross sectional area, PHL T infinity upon twice AC. So this is my element stiffness matrix for 1D steady state heat transfer problem with conduction and convection. So the convection is added here and the convection is added here, and according to that we are solving the problems which are related with this one. So generally the Fiene problems are solving by using this method. So let us move on a problem of a Fiene. So what is given in a problem? A metallic Fiene with thermal conductivity 70 watt per meter degree Kelvin and 1 centimeter radius, 5 centimeter long, extend from plate whose temperature is 140 degrees centigrade. Determine the temperature distribution along the Fiene if heat is transferred to ambient air at 20 degrees centigrade with convective heat transfer coefficient of 5 watt per meter square degree Kelvin. Take two elements along the Fiene. So what is given? The problem in a problem, what is given? That is the thermal conductivity in K. K is given, that is 70 watt per meter square degree Kelvin. Then the 1 centimeter radius and the length is equal to 5 centimeter. So L1 is equal to L2, because we have considered the two elements, that's why I have divided this one 5 into 2, that is the 2.5 centimeter, that is equal to 0.025 meter. Radius is given 0.01 meter. Then the T1, that is extend from the plate whose temperature is 140 degrees centigrade. So 140 degrees centigrade. So T1 is 140. T infinity, ambient temperature of air 20 degrees centigrade, and finally the value of H, that is the convective heat transfer coefficient is equal to 5 watt per meter square degree Kelvin. So this one is the 5 watt meter square per meter square degree Kelvin. So this is the problem. This is the problem. So in a graphical representation, this is my fin. This is the fix. This is the plate. This is the plate where my fin is fixed. Here the this one is the pin. Now this pin is divided into two parts. So element 1 and element 2. So this is my element 1, this is my element 2. Hence there are the three nodes, node 1, node 2 and node 3. Hence here there is the q1, this is q1, this is q1, this is q2, this is q2, this is q2 and this one is the q3. This is the q3. Now if we are looking towards this problem, then what we observe that this is equal to 140. Here the temperature is 140. This is the temperature 140. Outside this one, outside this region or this region, the temperature is that is given 20 degrees centigrade. That is given that is T infinity is equal to 20 degrees centigrade. So in this region the temperature is 20 degrees centigrade. So convection is taken place through this one. So this area, this length held responsible one, this length is held responsible one for convection, for convection. So that my p is equal to 2 pi r, 2 pi r, because this is the perimeter, that is 2 pi r, 2 into pi into r, this is the 2 pi r. Then the AC cross sectional area, that is the cross sectional area, AC is equal to pi r square or pi by 4 d square, pi r square. So pi into 0.01 square. So this is the value of this one. So let us take first of all calculate the element thermal stiffness matrix for element 1. For element 1, K1 is equal to K upon L, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. K value is 70. Then the L is equal to 0.025 multiplied by 1 minus 1 matrix. So we are getting, by manipulating this all calculation, we are this matrix, that is 2800 matrix of 2 by 2 matrix of 2800 minus 2800 minus 2800 2800. Hence this is the K1 matrix, Similarly H1 matrix, H1 is equal to PHL1 upon 6 AC 2112 matrix. Hence P is equal to is already calculated. H is equal to 5 is given. L1 is equal to 0.025 is given. 6 is 6. Then the AC cross sectional area. This one is already calculated. That is 3.15 into 10 to the power minus 4 multiplied by 2 by 2 matrix of indices 2 1 1 2. After manipulation, we are getting matrix of 8.33, 4.16, 8.1, 4.16, 8.33. So this matrix we are getting. Hence the same value we are getting for K1, K2 and K3, H2, because the element is divided into the two parts. Hence we need to add the K1 plus K2, and H1 plus H2. So how to add this one? That is the 2 8. This is my first node, 2 node. This is my third node. This is 1 node. This is 2 node, and this one is the third node. So here only the addition. 2 by 2 matrix is the addition. Rest of that there is no addition. So by using a direct assemblage method, my K matrix, this is my final K matrix, assemblage K matrix. Similar way, my H matrix, assemblage of my H matrix. So here I am getting the assemblage, and this is my H matrix. Again here at the center there is only the addition. Rest of the parameters are the same one. So this is the assembly of K matrix and the H matrix. Hence K plus H. Now as general, if we are looking towards the formulation, problem, then this is the global K plus global H global K plus global H is equal to this my heat flux vector matrix, so that I am adding these two terms, that is the global K plus global H, global K plus global H. So now this one is the both are the matrices. So ultimately addition of a matrix is simple addition. So when we are adding these one, we are getting these values 28 minus 275 0 0 this one. Now the boundary conditions. So this is the matrix we have received after the addition of the K and H. And the boundary conditions are given at the T1 the 140 degrees centigrade, while for the Q3 is equal to, that is the convection. So here there is a convection taking place. So convection Q3 is equal to H into T3 minus T infinity. So H is equal to 5 is given, T3 is not known, and T8, that is T infinity, is equal to 20. So 5 T3 minus 100, this is my Q3. Now we need to develop my elemental thermal load vector. So thermal load vector is equal to Q1 plus QL by 2 plus this value. Now this values we are calculating QL upon 2. So Q is given 0, L is equal to this value divided by 2. So I am getting here the 0 value. Now for this value, that is P is equal to perimeter is known, H is known, then L is given, that is 0.025, and the T infinity is 20 divided by 2 multiplied by cross sectional area. This is also calculated. So with the help of this one, this value comes out minus is equal to 250. So my Q1 means for element number 1, this is the Q1 plus 0 plus 220. Here this is the minus because this is the flowing away. So minus Q2 plus 0 plus 250. For Q2 this Q2 plus 0 plus 250, and lastly the minus Q3 plus 0 plus 250. Hence addition of my Q matrix, so my elemental thermal load matrix, Q1 plus Q2, so Q1 plus 250, Q1 plus 250, Q2 addition of this term and this term, that is Q2 is equal to addition of this term, and this term. So this addition gives us, that is this term, that is minus Q2 250, and this term plus Q2 250. Then the last term, that is the Q3 250. Now this is equal to 250, Q1 plus 250. This one is the 500, and this one is Q minus Q3 is equal to minus 583 upon 100. So minus 5 of 100 plus this one. So Q1 is 0. This one is, there is no heat transfer taken place. So Q1 is 0. That is, there is no heat flux is given at the node 1. So this one is 0. So 0 plus 250. So this is 250. This is 500. This one is the minus 5 T3 minus 100 plus 250. Hence finally we get the equation, that is the element stiffness matrix multiplied by temperature matrix is equal to 250 500 250 into this one. So that we are getting this value, this term, that is 250, this is 500 and minus 5t3 plus 350. So this one is to be taken away. So it one is equal to 0 0 minus 5 t3 250 500 350. Now by manipulating, so this term is to be changed to, sorry, this term comes to here minus. So this term is come here. So so that this is equal to minus 0 0 minus T3 is equal to this matrix. Hence this one is the minus 2 5 T3. This minus 5 we need to subtract from this one, and here this one is the minus, so minus minus plus, so this is plus 5. So this is equal to 2813. So 2808 plus 5 plus 5. Rest of the matrix is 7. Rest of the matrix is 7. So this one is to be changes. Then by using the elimination method, we eliminate this term as well as this term. We can solve this problem by using the inverse matrix also, but since these terms are the more complicated one, that's why finding the inverse is a difficult one. But even though if you are knowing the inverse process in a perfect way, then there is no issue to solve the problem by the inverse matrix also. But here just I am focusing on the elimination method, because in some of the books this elimination method is elaborated a lot, hence I am focusing on the elimination method. So let us move elimination method. So this is the remaining term T2 T3 500 350. Now here what we need to consider, minus T1 multiplied by these values. Now this value 2795, is it correct? No. Let me see which one should be this value. So when we are crossing this one, so that must be a kn1 value. So which one is kn1 value? Kn1 value is this one. So 2808, so that here the value must be a 2808. 2808, but here we are writing this one, it means it is a round. So instead of this one, this is not correct, instead of that we need to write this term 2808.33. so this is not correct, you need to use 2808.33. Hence now this one is the 140 and this is the 280. Hence what is happened now, this is the 500 minus what, that is the 140 multiplied by this, instead of this term, that is the 2808.33 multiplied by 140 so this is the result, and this is the 350. Now dividing these terms, dividing by these terms, okay, dividing by this term, so what we get, this is the 1, and this term is getting this one is -1, and this is this term. So this one is also divided by the 2795. The purpose of this one is only just to make it -1, and later on it will is to be 0, so that we can directly get the values, the purpose just to divide is just to make this one is the 1, and once we are getting the 1, we can get easily these values to be converted into the 0, so that here now adding 1 upon 2.009 into row 1. So add this one, so adding this one to the row 3. So if I multiply this multiplied by 2.001, so this is become 1, and if this 1 is traveled to here, added this one, so this is 0, same way here also. Now this term comes, so multiply this term, and if this one is to be added here, then this is 0. So now we are getting the two zeros, here is a 0, here is a 0, so that directly we can consider this is 2.009 multiplied by t2 is equal to this 278.3, and this term multiplied by t3 is equal to this term. So we are getting very easily the T3 term. Hence from the matrix 2.00 into T2 is equal to this one. T2 is equal to 138.54. Similar way, T.506 multiplied by T3 is equal to this one. Hence we are getting this value. Hence T1 is equal to 140. Hence T1 is equal to 140 is given. T2 we are getting is this value, and T3 we are getting this value, 138.14 degrees centigrade. So somewhat close to each other. This is the solution. This is the solution. So I hope you understand the problem of a fin. So fin can be solved very easily. Here there is only change that the value of a convection is to be added, and accordingly we need to manipulate. So whenever we are considering any problem with the conduction and convection, that problem looks like a fin problem, and accordingly you need to put the values like this one and solve the equation, so that you can able to solve any type of the problem very easily. Thank you for watching the video.